Hey guys, today we're going to learn about fusion. This is the D Dorian track, so it's the key of C major. Here are the notes of C major. It's a good idea to work them out on the guitar in position like I'm doing right now, meaning you're drawing a 2-octave shape with your index finger, kind of like from here to here, and then moving it that way and finding all the notes in between. Right now I moved some 16th notes, but you can do it with 8th notes, with triplets, that kind of thing. It's really also really good to work on up and down each string, right? You can go down the B string. Right there, I put in a little chord to lead me back to D minor. I played an A7, which is like the 5 of that D minor. Scale-wise, I'm just going into D harmonic minor to create tension and then back to D Dorian. Check out the sound of this. Like, it's like Yngwie Malmsteen for a second, then it comes back to fusion, right? Almost Bach-like. So that's a cool sound. But you can go more bluesy with it using pentatonics. Here's the pentatonic of the Wanne, right? D minor pentatonic, your blues dad shit. Right? Now if I take that vocabulary and slide it up a whole step, the E minor pentatonic, it gives me that Scott Henderson tribal tech kind of sound, right? Back. I can use A minor pentatonic, that's also just inside D Dorian. Now if I want to take it outside a little bit with pentatonics, I can go a whole step down, play C minor pentatonic. That's kind of like pentatonic of that A7. If I'm looking at that A7 altered, that comes from B flat melodic minor. Let's just check out that B flat melodic minor to create tension. I have back to D Dorian. Again, back to D Dorian. So you get that sound. Now from that sound, I can take out the notes of C minor pentatonic. They're all in that scale. And then I can resolve it back. So one sound is taking that and just moving from C minor pentatonic back to D minor pentatonic, like better example. That's all right, but a more exciting sound is to give it less of a resolution, less final than just going from C minor to D minor pentatonic, is instead of hitting that D minor on the nose, I can use E minor to come back. So I'm thinking about a pentatonic that's a whole step down, and then a pentatonic that's a whole step up as the resolution. Check this out. If I'm going from this sound, let's say home, to C minor pentatonic, to E minor pentatonic. That's that Scott Henderson, like Chick Corea days kind of sound. Again. That's a cool sound. Now here's another sound I like. I can play melodic minor on the one. Everybody knows about that. that's playing D melodic minor. Just like a little bit dramatic. But something that's really cool is you can go a tritone away and play melodic minor on that. So I'm thinking A flat melodic minor is tension and D melodic minor is release. Check out the sound of that. Now, why does that work? Well, that A flat melodic minor is kind of like a G7 altered. And what I'm doing is I'm resolving that sound of the G7 altered to C major, which is one of the chords, C major 7, one of the chords in the scale. It's the one chord in the scale that D Dorian comes from. Hear that sound? Well, the pentatonic that goes with that G altered is B flat minor, right? B flat minor pentatonic. And I can sidestep that back into A minor, just a half step resolution. So out could be B flat minor pentatonic. And in could be A minor pentatonic. Again. Hear that? Now I can go B flat for out, C for out, D in. So that's like moving in whole steps. Check this out. So I moved from B flat minor pentatonic to C minor pentatonic to D minor pentatonic to E. So B flat out, C out, D in, E in. Again. So one of the things that I really see is lacking with students is the skill, and it's playing out and in while keeping the line moving at all times, juggling the line, and also being rhythmically strong at all times. So what you want to do is take a cell. Here's a 5-note nothing. Just passing tone kind of lick. And I'm just going to move it around one string, but on command, I'm going to go back to playing Dorian. So here's like 8th notes. Not going to sound great. Back inside Dorian. Started on a different string, different point in time, move back. That's out, in. Now faster. So that's something you want to develop. That's a skill. Cool, here's another scale that's really cool. I can use whole tone, but not whole tone from the root. If I use whole tone from D, it's a very major sound. It sounds like it's all right, but it's a little bit happy, strange but happy. But if I start from the 5th, or the 6, or the 7, or the flat 2, or the flat 3, I get the other whole tone, the mismatched one. And that one is really minory in nature. It sounds like this. I can go like... I really like patterns in that one. You can do a kind of wide pattern that zigzags. Like this one is really nice. Like if I'm going like triplets or 16ths could be like... That's pretty wide, but what I can do too is realize that whole tone has this symmetry where it's the same fret numbers on the A, G, and B string, meaning if I'm moving a pattern, that gets me kind of like in the same vicinity. So whatever pattern I have between the G and B strings, I can have between the G and A strings. And even wider, I can have it between the E, D, and E string. So I can use that same pattern just off a fret from the E high E string to the D string. That's a really disjunct kind of like out sound, but it's cool, right? It's not bad, like. So all these tricks add up to pretty decent, convincing one-chord fusion playing. So there's a lot of tools for you right there. You have to build this chops. You have to think about playing the out stuff like using curse words in a sentence. If you just go around yelling cunt, shit, fuck, face, dick, then nobody's going to really take you seriously. You're gonna be like a crazy homeless person running around yelling and everybody looks away. But it can add a lot of drama to your phrasing if you just embed it into the story. Like, that fucking guy owes me money, and then I went here and that cunt face was like that, you know? So the way that just people talk, that's kind of like how you play fusion. These curse words in there, right? So start cursing. Join the Patreon, comment below for a free month there. Also click the like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.